And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Taproom Sports Podcast. We got a full house. Been a minute. Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson.
Yeah.
Swerving Irvin Washington. And myself, your boy, the champ, Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Let's go.
You know what I love even more than anything?
Me wearing a Niners
jersey
and a Giants
hat right now.
I know. But I got the 80s throwback Giants hat, which is dope as fuck. It's one of the best.
A Giants hat. That's
one of the
all
best.
I care about.
It's one of the best logos
Beautiful.
in baseball, for those that don't know. It's got the rounded SF, which is much better than the new one. And then obviously we got the Cap jersey. You know? The only Niners jersey I'll ever wear. Colin Kaepernick. One time, let's go. I was at Tenaya Creek. I got a lot of dirty looks.
I'm sure
when I took my jacket off. But it is what it is. You know what? I don't give a fuck. All right, which is why I wore the fucking jersey.
There we go.
The only Niners jersey I'll ever fucking wear, Ben. Maybe if the Niners win the Super Bowl this year, I will get a Brock Purdy jersey. I'll mark my words. I'll say it right here.
You'll rep that one.
I'll rock a Brock Purdy jersey if they win the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, awesome fucking weekend of football, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back, Ben. We're happy to see you back.
Yeah,
alive and well.
Didn't take me out. It's always a good thing.
Didn't take you out. Irvin and I held it down. We're just glad you're back healthy, bro. We're glad to see you. So, yeah, man, welcome back.
Yeah,
welcome back to the show. Irvin and I were pretty spot on about every fucking play this weekend, other than the Bills and the Giants. So 2 out of 4.
The Bills.
So half of them.
Well, I mean, the Bills. We honestly said we didn't like that game at all. We had a no play on it. It was a 0 play for either of us. But yeah, I mean, like we said that we would have taken the Bills given the circumstances, because the Bengals were down 3 starting offensive linemen, right? Which makes total sense, right? So we saw the line move from 4 to 6 closing. Just so happens, Joe Burrow's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to that. We'll get to the game in a little bit. But man, I'm drinking some good beer. I got a special beer on deck tonight.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's get into it. So we wanted to have beer as to continue being a big part of this podcast. So each week we're going to review and drink some beers on the show. And I think I actually only have one beer today, but I'm still taking it slow. So Irv's got the hard stuff. He's got the high quality H2O, that Pure Life. It's high quality. But we are sponsored by Devour tonight, so make sure to go to devour.com, download the Devour app, use promo code TAPROOM, and get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. So what's this special beer? I'm dying to hear it.
So this is this is from Tenaya. This is the Jesus Built My Hop Rod. It's Jesus Built My Hop Rod.
Okay.
It's a 7.2%. It's their Hop Ride IPA mixed with mango and apricot.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah.
So it's pretty fucking good, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's 7.2%. So I had a couple while I was watching the Niners game, so I was watching the game there.
So you're feeling good.
Oh, I'm feeling real good. Well, I mean, once
Yep.
you get that money too, once you win, you feel even better, dog.
Oh, damn
You know, I
straight.
drink a lot of water in between, so I wasn't really too like turned while I was watching the game. But then once they win, it's just like, whoo, let's go.
Let's go, y'all.
There we go.
What
All
are
right,
you sipping on, Ben?
I got the Laughing Monk Brewing. I got Lord Krampus. So this is a hazy double IPA, 8%. So a little higher here.
It's pretty
Citra
heavy,
Mosaic,
dog.
Moteca hops. They're out of San Francisco too, so it's a local one for me.
Nice.
Irv, I haven't tried it yet, but I don't think you would like this.
As soon as I heard double,
Yep.
not my forte.
It's a thing.
It don't look that bad.
It looks like orange juice,
It
but
don't look like that brown devil piss
Oh
that
man,
I be drinking those.
no, it's actually not that hoppy.
I actually had a really good beer when I was at the brewery, but they don't serve it to go, so
Of course.
it was fire. I took a picture of it. I posted on Twitter. It was a smoothie sour. Smoothie sour. Oh my god, it was fire, dude. And it was only like 5.5%, so it wasn't too heavy, but it was delicious. Delicious. But man, excited for the show tonight. Been looking forward to it all fucking weekend because we're in playoff football mode, so obviously a lot goes down. We'll hop into the very first game, which happened yesterday. It was Jacksonville at Kansas City. Kansas City closes 9.5-point favorites. The total was 51.5. The total goes under. Jacksonville covers the 9.5. The final score is 27-20. Thought Jacksonville was live dogs here at one point. Had a terrible turnover by David Agnew, which basically cost them the game. They probably could have won this game, to be honest, especially considering that Patrick Mahomes went down with the high ankle sprain, was never really the same after that. Which
no,
also
ankle sprain, not high ankle.
Nah, they said high ankle sprain, bro.
Ooh, well, he might. Ooh, is he gonna play next week then?
They're
said he's
talking that
going
he
to
will
play.
next week.
He's not gonna be 100% though, which is why I said yesterday that the Bills Bengals game was the AFC Championship because, dude, Mahomes looked like shit that entire game, other than one drive, which basically, it led him to a W, but also there was a roughing the passer call that basically extended the drive. Probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that was a terrible call.
But the Chiefs win the game. Mahomes is injured. What's your takeaway from this game? The game was the game, dude. Jacksonville had a chance to win. Maybe should have probably won it. But Mahomes is injured going forward. What do we think about the Chiefs going forward? Because the Chiefs were the favorites going forward.
Yeah, Mahomes not 100%. I don't see how they beat the Bengals, especially the way the Bengals are playing right now.
Yep. Yeah, 100% agree with that. And it really did come down to those two, turnovers, the fumble and the interception, in the fourth quarter there that, really, put the nail in the coffin, as they say, on this game. Because I thought you were right. I thought Jacksonville could have taken it with how Kansas City played. Because Kansas City really didn't play that great of a good looking game offensively or defensively. So, I guess you can say you forced that fumble, you made that interception, but it wasn't lights out like we saw with Cincinnati today, with the Niners, with the Eagles yesterday. They didn't have one side of the ball that really stood out and just took over, which caused me to think that they're.
Well, I thought the Chiefs were actually pretty good defensively. They held their own. They got after Trevor Lawrence. They got a turnover, but I still think that the biggest difference in the game was that fumble by David Agnew, which was unforced. It wasn't even like anybody punched it out of his hands, dude. He just coughed it up at the goal line, and he doesn't fumble that, and we're talking about a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And And the reason why we're talking a whole different ballgame is because Mahomes got hurt. Like, I'll keep it straight up, but I do think that going forward to next week, Chiefs only laying 1.5. I think that might be a little short of a number depending on where Pat Mahomes is at because Bengals look good today, dude.
Yeah,
Bengals look really good.
They've beat them 3 times in a row.
Yeah. They might have their number. As far as Jacksonville goes going forward, though, like, how do we feel about Jacksonville's future?
They got a real bright future. They got a bona fide franchise quarterback. He could easily be a top 10, probably.
He's
top
already
5
a top
QB.
10 quarterback.
He did a lot of growing up this year. He's got competent coaching. That's really all he ever needed it because his talent was through the roof. They got to get him a number 1 wide receiver. That's the only thing that's hurting that offense right now. The O-line is good. They got all the skill players you need. Evan Ingram resurrected his career because people was calling him a bust.
Yep.
Christian Kirk looked good, so it doesn't look like they just spent terrible money on him. They just got to get a bona fide number 1 wide receiver. That's all.
Well, Christian Kirk had 2 big drops in that game, though, dude.
What's that?
Christian Kirk had 2 big drops. One of them would have been a touchdown, too, if he didn't drop it.
Yeah, but overall, he had a good year. It sucks to see players, especially players on that level, drop passes, but that's part of the game now, man. You don't have Larry Fitzgerald's out there running routes for you no more, or
you need Larry Fitzgerald, so
Terrell Owens for players like that. Drops, unfortunately, are part of the game for now.
Well, they gotta practice catching the fucking football.
They just can't be the drops that cost you the game.
Yeah.
Which think too, ETN 9th overall this season in yards, 8th in yards per carry, 13th in attempts. Like,
yeah, he's a dog.
That's a bright future.
Oh,
damn, Irv,
I know.
On a different screen today.
I know.
Yawning over here.
Fucking took his job. No, I mean the Jags are a solid team. I think they need to shore up their offensive line, though. I think their offensive line isn't 100%, and they definitely need to fix that secondary because the secondary was really what fucking cost them, dude. Like, they're just not good in the back half of the defensive field.
Yeah, they need a safety and they need a corner for sure.
Yep, and I think that'll help them. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, I mean, obviously, Mahomes is healthy. They're the favorite to win, but now that Mahomes is hurt, you have to think about how this is going to play out.
Yeah, and the Bengals going to get probably 2 or 3 of those linemen back next week, too. So,
I mean, it didn't hurt them today at all.
It didn't, but I'm just saying this is going to make it. This is going to make it that much better.
Yeah, and I mean, the Chiefs don't really rush the passer great as it is. George Karlaftis kind of came out at the end of the year. Obviously, Chris Jones is a big middle of the presence type of defensive guy, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be tough sledding for the Chiefs next week. I don't really have a play on it right now, but let's move on to the Bengals game. Bengals, Bills. Bills closed -6 favorites. Big part of that was because of the offensive injuries to the Bengals. The total was at 48.5. Bengals win 27-10. Bengals just really, the Bills just really couldn't get anything going all game. Just really tough sledding from the get-go. And, a big part of it for me was the offensive play calling, dude. I thought the offensive play calling for the Bills was just terrible to begin the game. I mean, when there's snow, everybody assumes, like, okay, we need to run the football. But no, the best way to go about in the snow is passing the football because your wide receivers know where they're running and the defense has to adjust to it, so they have less of an advantage in the snow because they don't get the same footing, right? And the Bills, in my opinion, very first drive they come out, they run the ball first 2 drives, first two downs in the first drive, and they get like 4 yards, right? And then they punt the ball. Next drive, Bengals come down and score because they're throwing the ball all over the field. And in my opinion, I just thought the Bills just had a terrible game plan. Obviously, they have a lot of injuries to their defense, but the defense is already a disadvantage in the snow.
Yeah.
And the Bills did not help themselves out offensively, in my opinion.
Yep.
So, I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on this game here?
Yeah, Josh Allen didn't have a good game. He deserves some blame for this loss. He left a lot of throws out there to be desired, and all that running and scrambling, trying to prolong plays. It didn't help today. And honestly, I don't know how that one pass wasn't a fumble. That looked like a fumble to
Yeah, it
me.
was.
They changed it to an incomplete pass, but Josh Allen definitely has to take one on the chin, and he has to find a way to start playing better in the playoffs because his last two playoff losses have came against Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and people are going to start asking, is he the guy that can really get you over the hump and get it done for you?
Well, I think a big part of both those losses were the defense, dude. And
That's true too, but he's the quarterback, so he's definitely gonna get some of the blame.
he
But
deserves
yes,
some
I think if
blame.
their defense was 100% healthy, then we could have saw a different game today.
Well,
It
I
probably
mean,
would have been closer than what it was because today's game wasn't that close.
at all. And
No.
and he definitely deserves some blame today because I mean he missed a lot of throws. He missed Stephon Diggs wide open down the field when the game was 7-0, and they probably would have tied the game right there. Gabe Davis had a huge drop, which would have put the game within 3 points. And at the end of the day, the defense couldn't stop a fucking statue today. And when your head coach is Sean McDermott, who's supposed to be one of the best defensive minds in football,
Bengals had their way.
you'd expect that your defense can make some adjustments. Now, I know in the snow it's a little bit tougher because, like I said, the offense has the advantage. You're kind of dodging and playing. You don't know where the offense is going, so you have less footing. But man, the Bills got fucking manhandled today, dog, and I did not see that happening, bro. Like we said on our show on Wednesday, bro, or Tuesday, it was either Bills or no play for me, dude. Like, I was not taking the Bengals considering they were down 3 starting offensive linemen. But they managed to do. Joe Burrow was literally just throwing in the flat, dog, every fucking play, and they were running for 10 plus yards after a catch. Like,
Yeah,
at what point do you adjust as a defense, dude? Like, and they never did. Never played press coverage once. Like, they kept letting it happen, dude, and that's their fault.
It's something I noticed even last week when watching the Bills, and something I wanted to bring to the show was that unfortunately I couldn't, but was their attempts to go for home run plays. And at the dumbest of times, you're at 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and you're going for a 42-yard pass. Like, why are you making those play calls when you're in your dire need to get 7 yards?
That's what they do,
Why
bro.
are you going for that home run? And I noticed that today. There were a lot of times where here you have it, you've got 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and all of a sudden Allen's throwing a mile down the road. It just doesn't make any sense for me. I know you go for the big play at times, and that's what they've built themselves on last year, the year before that. But you got to be smarter with those play calls because it hasn't worked in the last 3 weeks, and you're making those big plays on, the Browns, the Giant. I mean, I know the Giants were here, but the Giants of last year, like, you're making those plays on lesser of teams when you're in this big game against Cincinnati with a large, a strong defense. You don't make those plays. You go with the smart one, and they got to run the ball. The games that they're successful and they're running over 100 yards, they're winning. And today you had Josh Allen 26 yards, Singletary 24 yards, Cook 13 yards.
Well, the problem is they were down 14-0. It's tough to run when you're down 14-0, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have to open that up because especially with a QB like.
To be honest, in the snow though, you're not going to be able to run the ball very efficiently. Like I know,
Cincinnati did. They had 172 yards today.
I know they ran the ball pretty efficiently, but at the same time, the reason why Cincinnati was able to run the ball efficiently is because they went up 14-0.
Yeah,
and they were throwing the ball all over the field, and so therefore Buffalo was like playing the pass a lot more, and that's when Cincinnati really started running the football.
Yeah, but if Buffalo runs the ball, then they open up that same thing of you have that option.
But
whether they have to
the biggest
to
problem
double
for
up your-
Buffalo though is that they're 26 DVOA in rush blocking, right? That's not their strength. It hasn't been their strength all season. That's not what they do. And yet they still kept trying to do it. Like that's my problem with that is like, you know, lean on what you do well in that situation, and they didn't do that. I think a huge part of Buffalo's problem, you know, all season was that they didn't have Brian Daboll. You know, last year the Bills were a much better offense, and who was their offensive coordinator? Brian Daboll. You know, and it showed at the end of the year, like it hurt.
It showed
dude.
all year. I didn't think this Buffalo team was.
They
really
definitely weren't as good as they were last year.
13-3 team.
Yeah, and but I mean, at the same time, like Buffalo dealt with a lot of fucking injuries on the defense, dude. Like, I mean, at the end of this game, they literally had 0 defensive backs that started a game at any point in this season. You know what I mean? Like, that's how bad it got in the secondary. And you know, they lose DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin wasn't even a starting safety. He was our secondary safety. He gets out. You know, they bring in a third string safety. So, you know, Buffalo, they had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Bad luck.
Bad luck. They had a lot of adversity to battle through all season. Just couldn't afford. Unfortunately, at the end of the year, they just couldn't battle through all of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I loved all those pictures of like, oh, DeMar's in the field, and all you see is fucking snow and an outline. Like, oh yeah, that's
yeah. I don't
thanks
know
for
why.
showing that.
I don't know why CBS even fucking showed that shit. Like,
Yeah,
did they even know that we couldn't even see that shit?
I mean, I'm sure
They knew
if
something.
they showed him like 20 times, and again, all you is like, is that him in the blue or is that him in the red? Well, it ended up being him in the red.
We definitely couldn't see it. That's for damn
No.
sure. All right, let's move on to our next game. We got the Giants and Philadelphia Eagles.
Ain't nothing to talk about. Move on.
Now we got to talk about it. Giants, or Eagles close this game 8-point favorites. Eagles win 38-7. This game honestly is bad of a blowout as it was. It wasn't that bad. Well, I mean it was bad, but I mean the Eagles the game was over before they put up 10 extra points, dude. And it's gonna come back to haunt them in a week. And the total was 47.5. Game goes under. Eagles cover. What was your thoughts on this game?
New York
Grand
looked
opening,
bad.
grand closing.
Yeah,
Danny Dimes didn't show up. Danny Apple turnover showed up. The interception was terrible, bro. I mean, I ain't seen the interception that bad in a while.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, Hurts wasn't that good himself, though. It's not like he
No.
was great.
Yeah, he didn't have to be, but next week, he got to be great to beat that team.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I think this game right here was more indicative of how bad the Vikings were, more than how good the Eagles are. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, you can say that. It makes sense.
yeah.
Because the Giants, I didn't think were that great, and the Vikings, obviously, I've been talking about how dog shit they are all season.
Basically, neither one of those teams had any business being in the playoffs.
Pretty much, yes.
Yep.
And they ran up, and they, no matter who won that game last week,
was
they were gonna
getting
get the shit
it
beat
did-
out.
yeah, they were
Yeah,
getting
it
their
didn't
ass
matter.
beat, dude. For sure, they were getting their ass beat. But I mean, if you're the Eagles, you have to be happy the Giants won, because if the Giants didn't win, you're facing Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I
Dallas would
mean?
have taken him out last week.
I think Dallas would have beat them too. I think Dallas would have beat them this week.
Yep.
Just like I think
So-
San Francisco's gonna beat them next week.
Yep.
You know, because I didn't think the Eagles were or we said in our show, the biggest question mark about the Eagles was, is Jalen Hurts gonna be healthy? Right? And Jalen Hurts didn't even look that good. Like
No.
he made a
He's
couple good throws.
66%.
Well,
completion percentage.
66% was good. I
It's
mean,
okay.
they were running the ball at will,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
you know, when he was throwing the ball, he wasn't like spectacularly great. He
Mhm.
was 16 of 24 from the field.
Yeah, it was screens, some slants, a couple comebacks. I think he hit Brown on one like over the middle deep route, like intermediate to deep route. But
Yep.
I think they didn't really show a lot against the Giants. But they got to put it all out there to beat the Niners.
It's going to be an interesting game next week because I think the Niners and the Eagles, neither team has really played a tough schedule all season. So, and the Niners, Brock Purdy looked like shit today, and the Niners still fucking handled business. But
Yep. It was a completely different first half to second half.
For who?
For the Niners offense.
I'll order it again.
All right, well, let's talk about the Niners real quick. Let's move into that game. Niners, they win 19-12. The line closed 3.5, 4, depending on where you got it at. The total was at 46.5. Niners cover opening and closing line, and the total goes under. Obviously, like we said, it was a little tough sledding for both teams. Brock Purdy 19-29 from the field, 214 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Dak Prescott 23-37, 206 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Tony Pollard broken leg.
Oh, he broke his leg. I mean,
his leg.
The Cowboys couldn't really run the ball at all, but I mean, neither could the Niners really struggled to run the ball too until the end of the game.
Yep. Yeah, it was a completely different first half or second half.
Elijah Mitchell really, once they started giving the ball to Elijah Mitchell, he really started getting some gains. But what was your thoughts on this game?
My big question for next week is how is Christian McCaffrey's calf? Because that was, noticeably causing him issues in the second half of this game, first half of this game too. So that's the big question of it. Brock Purdy didn't look great, but is that his dud? And can he come back next week and
rookie moment?
Yep. And can he, learn from the lack of success that he had today? That's really the big thing here. Really stupid fucking play calling by Dallas today. There were a couple times where it was just like, how did you think that was a good idea? Especially that final play.
I thought there was a lot of dumb play calls on Kyle Shanahan.
Destroyed. What's that?
I thought there was a lot of dumb play calls on Shanahan's part too. On the flip side, dude, I mean, some of the shit he was trying to run, I was like Brock Purdy, fucking quarterback drop the middle, dude, in the red zone. Like, what are we doing here, dog? Like,
well, in Dallas,
what the fuck, dude? Brock Purdy. Why are we running a quarterback draw with Brock Purdy?
Yeah. Dallas completely took out Debo tonight, which was, one of the first teams that was able to do that.
Well, I said
that just means he's gonna come back with a vengeance next week because he always has a big game after a game that he's rarely has an imprint on it.
I said it last night too. Dallas was one of the best teams in coverage against their number one wide receiver of the opposing team. I liked Brandon Ayuk for a lot of reasons, but I mean, Brandon Ayuk they weren't even targeting him.
2 catches for 26 yards.
So, I mean, it's I think a lot of it was on a lot of shitty play calling, dude, to be honest. The Niners defense stood up when they had to, bro. 2 turnovers, and they really made obviously the Niners are the best defense. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, they 2 All-Pros showed up today. Tyler Noah and Fred Warner were lights out.
Bosa
pretty much blocked up the middle of the field. Bosa is
Hufanga.
Bosa. You can only do so much against that man. You're not going to stop him.
Hufanga was balled out too. Hufanga balled out too.
I know what I'm saying. Tyler Noah, Fred Warner, they got dogs over there, man. What can you do? Just line it up and hope for the best.
That's what I'm saying.
If I break the game down, I'm not a Niners fan, never will be, but shout out to my uncle. Besides my dad, this is the man that taught me pretty much everything I know about the game of football. My uncle Larry Walker. Rest in peace. Hopefully the Niners can bring it home for you.
Let's go.
I had this picture, that jersey, since I was a kid, so I'm going to continue to hold on to it. His ashes are at the stadium. My cousin, his son, was able to put his ashes at Levi Stadium. So the Niners, bring it home. It's been too damn long. 1994 for a franchise that's that damn good. You guys know what you got to do. But yeah, this game was like one of those old school games. It was smash mouth. The quarterbacks tried to make as much plays as they could, but they just couldn't. One quarterback made a little bit more plays than the other, and he didn't make mistakes. Dak threw 2 picks. Niners got points off of both those turnovers. The 49ers, they could have had They could have had disaster on that punt or return on that. I mean, that fumble on
Yep.
that punt, but defense stood up again. I think Dallas just got a field goal out of that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a field goal.
So it was just that defense brought them home. The offense made just enough plays, and the number one ranked defense in the NFL is the reason why the Niners are in the NFC Championship game.
Yep. So what do we think about the NFC Championship game next week?
Jalen Hurts probably has to play one of his best games of his career because the way the Niners put pressure on you, they don't have to blitz. They could play man, they could play zone. Both those safeties could play either one spot. The middle of the field, I don't know if Philly loves going over the middle. And I think that's the one thing the Niners are going to try to take away from them, especially with Talanoa and Fred Warner. So, and it also depends on if Philly can get that run game going. If they can't get the run game on, if they can't get the run game going and they turn Jalen Hurts into a passer, I like the Niners' chances on the road.
Well, the Niners have been second against the rush all year, so could
That's
get
the first very mobile quarterback that we'll see all year though.
Yeah, Dak was, but Jalen Hurts obviously going to be the next mobile quarterback, but
no, but that's what I'm saying. Hurts is going to be our first major mobile quarterback.
Hurts didn't even really run the ball against the Giants because he's hurt. He can't afford to take hits, dude. At this point,
he took a couple hits, but I didn't see him really run too much after that. He did most of his running in the first half.
Yeah, and he was also trying to run out of bounds, like he wasn't running like he normally does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. To get extra yards and run people over and shit.
Philadelphia is first against the rush. 21st against the rush. So that's obviously what the Niners do best.
Yeah, and they just got to cover up McGlinchey as much as they can because that dude got killed today by Micah Parsons.
Well, once they started chipping on the right side with him, then it wasn't that big of an issue.
Yeah, but
the other thing is the Eagles don't have a pass rusher as good as Micah Parsons.
Hassan Reddick is pretty good though. He's not Micah, of course. He's not.
Right. I'm a Cardinals fan, dog. Hassan Reddick
elite type pass rusher, but McGlinchey struggles against speed rushers, and that's what Riddick has.
Well, where the Eagles succeed in pass rushing is up the middle, because they have they have Sweat and they have who's the other cat? Cox up the middle.
No, Sweat is an end. You mean Davis and Sweat, but then again though, it's just you got Trent Williams on the left side. He's gonna hold that side down. The only side I'm concerned about is McGlinchey.
Yeah, but they can chip on that side.
Yeah, they could chip, but sometimes he is gonna have to block
on the flip side, dude. This is hands down the best pass rush the Eagles have seen all year.
Yeah,
and the last defensive line they saw nearly as good as the Niners. You know who that was?
Washington,
and they lost that game at home. No Chase Young.
Yeah, I expect the Niners to be in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm gonna say. Yep. Even with the rookie quarterback, I wouldn't even consider Purdy a rookie anymore. Like,
but he doesn't even need to do
play
anything.
Like a rookie. Like sometimes when the game gets sped up a little bit, he panics. I wouldn't say he panics. He just forces things a little bit. But he's just not out there making mistakes. They're gonna put you. He's not gonna put the Niners in a position where they got to play from behind or got to come back from multiple touchdowns. He's gonna make the plays he needs to make within that offense. And Cal has pretty much all confidence in him. He doesn't baby him out there. He throws the whole offense at him. The playbook is wide open. Now the Eagles have to face this is probably the best far skill position. This is going to be the best team the Eagles faced all year on offense.
Yep.
They got 2 good running backs, 3 good wide receivers, a top 4, top 5 tight end. Kittle, now that he got a quarterback that throws downfield, Kittle is looking like the Kittle that we've been accustomed to seeing. So it's going to be a barn burner, man.
He almost got his head taken off today.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a catch.
I expect the Niners to win it.
Yeah, likewise. 2.5 right now is the number. Eagles laying the 2.5. Niners catching the 2.5. I'm interested to see if this gets to 3, because if it gets to 3, I I will bet unresponsibly on the Niners. I'm telling y'all that right now. It opened 1.5. We've seen it move up to 2.5. And this is the thing, dude. Is like constantly I keep hearing that the analysis on the Niners is like, okay, Brock Purdy's a rookie. This is the best defense he's gonna face at some point. You know, he's gonna struggle, but you know what? Brock Purdy just faced the best defense he's gonna see in the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Cowboys defense has been better than Philadelphia's defense all season long. You know, even though Dallas's defense has tailed off at the end a little bit, they're still the number two defense DVOA overall. And Philadelphia, number 6 defense DVOA. So, you know, I don't think Brock Purdy's going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. The biggest thing is going to be playing on the road, obviously, but we saw him going to Seattle Thursday night, standalone game, Thursday Night Football, and they took care of business in Seattle. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
At some point, people got to stop being like, okay, I'm gonna stop betting against Brock Purdy, because people that's the reason why people have been betting against the Niners, because they keep betting against Brock Purdy. At some point, they keep expecting Brock Purdy to play bad, and he hasn't done it yet. So we'll see what happens there. All right. Before we get out of here, short show tonight. Only 4 games we're talking about.
Yep.
Shannon Sharp. Gotta talk about
the regular pedestrian.
The regular pedestrian. Friday night, Lakers, Memphis. You know, a confrontation goes on between Shannon Sharp and what's his face, Irv?
Mark.
T. Morant.
Nah, the player Dylan Brooks.
Dylan
Brooks.
Sorry.
Leads over to a conversation with T. Morant. Spills over. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Do we have an issue with Shannon Sharp chirping?
I don't have an issue at all with Shannon Sharp. He's not a regular fan. He's one of the greatest tight ends that ever lived. I'm pretty sure everybody on that Memphis bench knew who he was, even though Dylan Brooks at the end of the game tried to call him a regular pedestrian. You know damn well who Shannon Sharp is. And it's not like he went overboard with him. He just told him, "You too small to guard LeBron James," and Brooks took it personal, and it led on from there. We all know Shannon Sharp is not backing down from nobody. So
Nobody.
The only thing issue I had is you don't walk out on the court. Like,
yeah,
keep it on the sidelines. That's the only thing. But yeah, talk all the shit you want.
He didn't really get on the court though.
What's that?
He didn't really get on the court though. And it was halftime when he did.
Yeah.
So. My thing with this is the Grizzlies are quickly becoming the Suns part 2, dude. They're corny as fuck. They're annoying. Like, on Christmas Day, they have that video of them, you know, coming out to the floor against the Warriors in a choreographed dance, only to get fucking mollywopped by a Steph-less Warriors team who they just got done saying isn't a concern to them. And it's just like, it's all this off-court nonsense that it's just becoming annoying, dude. They're literally becoming dislikable like the Suns are. And it sucks because they got a lot of good players, but they're just like young and they're annoying as fuck, dude.
Well, and they have to prove it too. I mean, once you prove it, once you win a couple times, then talk your shit.
But even the Suns, dude, they made it to the finals and they're still annoying as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Because they haven't made it back.
Yeah.
You know, and they're starting to learn that too. Like, yo, we were a little too cocky. Like, maybe we need to take a step back. And, you know, that's Memphis right now. Memphis they're, like, I hate to say it, dude, they're annoying as fuck, dog. Like, they're a team that you want to see lose at this point because they're just hella cocky, bro. And Ja Morant's a great fucking player, dude. Desmond Bane is a great fucking player.
Agreed.
Dylan Brooks is a great defender, but he's an average NBA player, and he thinks he's a million times better than he is. Jaren Jackson is a great NBA player. Like, they got good players, dude, but they're just overly cocky and they're just annoying, dude. Straight up.
Yep.
And all I want to do at this point is they're making it hard to cheer for them as an NBA fan. You know what I mean? So I got no issue with Shannon Sharp, dude. I thought Dylan Brooks was a little bitch in that situation. I thought he should have, like, he could talk his shit, but I mean, like, there's no reason for all that. I mean, Shannon Sharp's, like Irv said, dude, he's a Hall of Fame tight end. He's on TV, dude. He's just talking, bro. He's just having a good time at the game. And then for you to fucking sit there and try to fight him and shit, like, what are we doing, dog?
Yeah, like we doing, and we know no NBA players. Like, what NBA player is really probably gonna fight somebody outside of Patrick Beverly?
Yeah, and Shannon Sharp wasn't trying to fight nobody either. He was just having a fun time. He was just talking, and like, all I know is find yourself somebody that loves you as much as Shannon loves LeBron, and you will be you'll be good in life, dog. You will be set.
And how much Kanye loves Kanye.
Oh, that too. That's gonna be tough though.
That's
That man loves some Kanye. That man loves him some Kanye.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, let's get some best bets for tomorrow, man. What do we got for tomorrow?
I got two on the NHL schedule. We're gonna go Dallas Stars over the Sabres. Dallas says, the vig is not great for the line, so let's go -1.5 here. It is at 178, so it's not horrible, but you're gonna get a lot better odds with that -1.5 there. And then Flames over the Blue Jackets. You can easily take this one as a -1.5. Columbus can't put the fucking puck in the net, and they also can't stop the puck from going in the net. So it's a little rough one. Rough one if you're a Columbus Blue Jackets fan, but we're Sharks fans, so
Alright.
we get it.
Alright. Irv?
My turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna go New Mexico +2.5 on the road against Nevada.
Alright. I'm going Nevada -2.5 against New Mexico. I really like Nevada here at home. Keenan Blackshear, Will Baker, Jared Lucas. I think Keenan Blackshear and Jared Lucas, two of the best backcourt tandem in the Mountain West. Jamal Mashburn and Jalen House, they're up there. But I think the home court advantage, New Mexico probably should have lost to the Boise State on Friday night. They had a lot go their way. Boise State they also shot their worst percentage I've ever seen, and it wasn't even like bad shots, they were just missing open shots. I just think Nevada is one of the best teams in the Mountain West. I think they get this done at home. So give me Nevada -2.5 here. I'll take it up to -3, -3.5 too.
All right, before we go, let's go over our beers. What'd you think of your Tenaya?
Oh, this shit's it's really good, bro. It's their IPA mixed with some their hop right IPA mixed with tangerine and mandarin. It's delicious, man. It's got a nice taste to it. Easy to drink. It is very strong, so you got to be very careful.
Yep.
But man, it smacks you like the Niners D smacks you, bro. How's your beer?
Out of 5.
Oh, out of 5. Probably give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I definitely drink it. Again, it's not gonna be on tap there very much longer, so gotta get it while I can.
Yeah. Definitely bummed I didn't make it out to Tenaya when I was out there. But I've got Laughing Monk Brewing. This is one that is on Tavour, so make sure to go to Tavour. Use promo code TAPROOM. Get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. That could be a free Lord Krampus. So I had Lord Krampus, which is double IPA, hazy double IPA, coming in at 8%. And this one was actually good. It was, for a hazy IPA, it was thick, but I'm not full after drinking it. It could also be because I'm only drinking one beer tonight and not two, but it wasn't really super thick. It left some nice lines on the glass too, which is something you're always looking for with your beer. And at 8%, you can drink one of these and be happy for the night. So I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5. Good hazy double IPA. Drink it cold. It's better cold than it is warm.
Nice. Hell yeah, man. Thank you all for joining us. I was just going over the New Mexico schedule too, Herb. Mexico, not good on the road, by the way. They lost to Fresno State. They did beat San Diego State at home, but San Diego State's been kind of mid. Not gonna lie.
All right, well, my best bet is changing.
So good luck tomorrow night with New Mexico. With that being said, appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Definitely tap in with us on Tuesday. We'll be breaking down the conference championship matchups: Niners, Eagles, Chiefs, Bengals. Once again in the AFC Championship, Chiefs, Bengals. So hang out with us. We'll be back. We'll be breaking down some best bets. Definitely want to tap in with us. For Swerving Over Washington, for Big Ball and Ben Larson, I'm Jordan. Stacks on stacks on stacks, lads. We will catch y'all later. Have a blessed Monday.
Peace.
Peace.
You ever seen that stand-up